It's time for chewing on the wire radio.
No, God! No,
Hey,
God,
no
please,
biting.
no!
Hey,
No!
no biting. Okay? You want me to bite you? You know that hurts, Daddy. I told you, silly. No biting, okay?
And good evening, Louisville, Kentucky. We are back, chewing on the wire, as a whole is back. How freaking are ya? I almost said the naughty F word. So yeah, we're back, and we are in Louisville, Kentucky today. So I don't know that I've ever actually explained this before when I say we're back after we take these kind of extenuous breaks. So what I mean by that, or why we left. So as you may know, every Friday for our Friday Fever is what we kind of call our shows here. We're kind of filler on the iHeartRadio app between other shows, basically. And sometimes we get extra time to be on the air. Like, for example, last month when we did that, like 2 weeks going to all those Green Day shows, we had like what felt like an episode almost every day or every 2 days. So when that happens, we're given kind of that extra airtime, those extra slots. But then when we're on the air that much, we take some time off. Usually we're once a week. So then when we start doing 5, 6, 7 days, 3 weeks in a row or something, we take some time off. So yeah, we haven't been on the air since September 1st. No, September 4th. We had like 3 weeks ish off. Yeah. So we're back though with another Friday Fever. And like I said, we're in Louisville, Kentucky. Why are we in Louisville, Kentucky? Well, we are kicking off 10 years of Rock City Multimedia. That started this morning. If you didn't hear the announcement, 2025 is the 10th year of our parent company, Rock City Multimedia. In one of the ways we're celebrating, I'm going to kind of digress here for a second. One of the ways we're celebrating is Operation 25, which is a page on our website, rockcitychronicle.com. If you didn't hear the whole announcement this morning, you can go watch it on our YouTube at Chewing on the Wire. But a quick synopsis here. So basically, one of the many facets of Rock City Multimedia, one of the many reasons it started was because after I finished, school, I went for digital art and design, like communications and music production, all that. I needed I wanted a website to display all the pictures and stuff I took. Because I was, after school, I became the graphic design intern for a slew of minor league baseball teams, which, the whole, our tagline is we cover everything sports, amusement parks, and music because, we worked in those industries. That's where it kicked off. That's where it all started. And so I wanted a website to kind of put all the, what are called bum pictures by the team because they're pictures that didn't make the cut to be on social media, et cetera, et cetera. I thought some of them were still good pictures, so I wanted a website to put them on. So that's kind of how Rock City Chronicle started. But then, like I said, it started because as a graphic designer / graphic design intern, I needed a place to put my work. My company I was working for didn't want to use. So we're kind of falling back on those graphic design roots, and we made a page dedicated to everything we love. The archives, to archive everything we love, whether it is football helmets, baseball hats, what guitar, what musician used on what tour, the physical layout maps for haunted events, because sometimes you walk in those things and you don't know where you're going. Well, now you can, because we took all those things we love, that you might not normally be able to see or be able to tell what it is. Like sometimes you can't tell what's on that football helmet when it's on TV. Well, we broke it down. We figured out what was on it. We figured out what it was. We contacted the school, the team, the band, the musicians, the haunted event, whatever it may be, and we broke it down for you. We digitally animated it, digitally modeled it, whether it's 2D or 3D, and we have complete archives of all that good stuff on our website, rockcitychronicle.com. You're going to have to go to that sub-menu and click Operation 25. Operation 25. It's kind of making fun of Project 2025. The whole, if you didn't see the ad we dropped this morning, it was like, turns out Project 2025 sucks, so we made a better one. And our better one is Operation 25. Because everyone's going to love it, because it's a complete archived collection in detail. Football helmets, baseball hats, minor league, major league, college, NFL, actual maps of haunted events. It's everything that I just said. I don't need to keep repeating it. I know you just heard it, but so that's one of the biggest things that we're doing. Operation 2025. No, God, I'm never gonna get that right. Operation 25 on our website. I was so sold on the it's making fun of Project 2025 that I keep calling it Operation 2025. That's not what it is. It's Operation 25. That's how we're kicking off, starting celebrating 10 years. Rock City Multimedia. We're also doing a national radio tour featuring not only this radio show, Chewing on the Wire, but also live performances on air from Last Alive, as well as spinning some songs from our in-house DJ, Local Oxygen. And we'll be broadcasting live on all the local stations in all the cities we went to the first year Rock City ever hit the road. And you can get that schedule, more information on that picture-in-picture 10 years of Rock City Multimedia Tour and Operation 25. You can get more information on all that, obviously, on rockcitychronicle.com. And now that's enough talking about us, all right? That was my intro. It's enough talking about us. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, here we go. Oh, my God. Oh, that's the good stuff. I turned away from the microphone this time. Last time I just backed away from the microphone, and then it became the loudest soundbite you've ever heard. Decibels greater than any human ear has ever. I'm gonna sneeze again. Hold on. Okay, I think I'm good. I'm going over my notes because I just covered all that Rock City stuff without I'm losing my train of thought. Anyway, I think I'm done sneezing for now. So to get on to our next thing here, the Cleveland Browns cannot seem to figure it out, regardless of who's on the team, regardless of what's going on, regardless of what multimillionaire that was actually like a star athlete, like he was doing very good. Even when he came to the Browns, they just can't figure it out. A completely random one-on-one comparison for me is, I feel like it's just because they're an expansion team. The actual Cleveland Browns left for Baltimore, whatever year that was, 94 or 95, 96, something like that. And I feel like this is just an expansion team that was like, this market has fans that just go to the games no matter what. And so they wanted to put a team back here, but like, therefore it wasn't actually like a football knowledgeable owner, staff members, etc., etc. And now that was obviously like 25 years ago. Exactly 25, actually, I think. And not to say that they haven't hired people that know about sports, but it just seems like it's like, when you're a football ownership, you know what's right, what's wrong, where things go, where things should be. When you're not a football ownership, you're just like, these guys are knowledgeable and they're winning more than 0 games. You know how the Browns were at one point in time when they came back. So they're like, we'll just keep chugging along, but it's just not working. No one's vibing on this team, it seems like, regardless of how great they were when they went to those 2 playoff games. Well, and look at how those 2 playoff seasons ended. in the divisional series. It's just mistake after mistake. They're not becoming one as a team. And I'm watching every single one of these games because, what do you call it? We do our Cleveland Browns throwdown every Sunday at Lakeside. And so I'm watching every single one of these games, and they go out to this great start. They understand the assignment, they score a touchdown, and then from then on, it's like the offense is just like that. Well, and I feel like the play calling is still off. Like, it's iffy. It's 50-50, but it's one of those, like, they run the ball successfully, but then you'll see, like, the next drive they run the ball unsuccessfully, but then they keep trying to run the ball even though now the defense has figured it out. I'm over this team. It's time to get them out of the city. Moving to Brook Park. Touchy subject, I know. And one of my notes here, and so just to complain about something, again, basically, I hate the NFL rules, so I don't watch a whole lot of NFL ball. But this is just one of those teams I wouldn't mind folding. Like, again, it just seems like one of those expansion franchises with owners that knew, oh, these people are going to support football because they like football. They don't care what happens on the field, apparently. Which, my alternate idea was like, just, we have to stop attending these games until this gets fixed. Because it's just annoying. With the owner also owning the Columbus Crew, I believe it is. And as you see, he knows what's going on with that because they won like 4 MLS Cups in the past like 5 years or something crazy like that. Maybe at least 2 that I can remember and, I've paid attention to since I've watched soccer. And it's just like asinine. It's just insane. And I feel like this is obviously an opinionated statement, but it just feels like he knows a lot about soccer and knows people in North America won't get into soccer unless you have a good soccer team. Not to bash anyone, I'm not big on soccer, so I don't know how everyone's season has been going, how last season was, etc., etc. But like I've seen FC Cincinnati like hasn't been doing as hot as they were, and you look at some of those Snapchat stories of their stadium when a game's going on, and it went from completely full to now there's a full supporter section and nobody else in the second level. So he like knows you got to turn the soccer thing around or you're going to start losing money, especially when you just built that new stadium, especially in the United States. With football, I feel like he just doesn't care. Obviously, they're trying because they've made 2 postseason runs more recently, but it's just like he's like it's football in Cleveland. They'll support them regardless of what happens, and I feel like that's where we're at. If we stop supporting them, maybe we'd get a complete overhaul we needed. And it's hard to say because I know we did just go to the postseason, the wild card twice, but then look at how those ended, just flop after flop. And then it's like we can't continuously, like normally, if we had our building blocks in order, I feel like we'd get there, flop the next year, get there, go one more round, flop, go another round, go to the Super Bowl in the 3rd or 4th year. Now it's like we had Joe Flacco getting us all the way again. But then because we paid Watson so much money, we got rid of Joe Flacco and then Watson flopped. Like, it's just, this is horrible. This is a horrible organization. Very nice people, though. I have worked with them for quite a few years. But, like, oh my gosh. What's going on the field's got to be changed. And when I say I hate the NFL rules, I'm not a huge fan of the NFL. I wouldn't say I hate it. Not a huge fan of it. I hate the rules because they just have to have every rule make it so it's like the game's never out of reach for anyone. Whether it's the 2-minute warning because we can't look up at the clock and see we have 2 minutes, so it's basically just giving one of the teams an extra timeout. Whether it's the landing zone, you can't onside kick anymore. Because we don't actually want you to secure the lead, onside kick and score again, to 100% secure the lead. We want to see if the other team can score and tie the game, because we get more money for more views, and if it's tied up, it'll get more views. Like, it's clearly they don't care about football anymore type of situation. But yeah. So this is coming from someone who loves college football, doesn't really pay attention to the NFL, but I wouldn't mind if we got rid of the Browns. Especially for how much the city, the state, people are paying to have that there, and now they're saying, we want 30 or 3 million something dollars for a new stadium. Like, how about this? Score at least 21 points in the AFC Championship game. In a AFC Championship game. And then you can have a new stadium. That's what I'd say. Moving on, though. So Green Day is banned in Vegas. And you all know I'm a big Green Day backer, but not even like getting into like if this was any band. Like let's say it was Pierce the Veil. I don't know. I'm backed up on bands right now. I've had a lot of time to listen to new music recently. So it's hard to pick one out. But just regardless, any band, like so what happened? Restart. I digress. Billy Joe Armstrong and all of Green Day, you know, they're at one point in time from Oakland, from the East Bay area, from Berkeley, that area in there. And so when the A's owner, you know, came out and put some statement out that they're having their last game, and you know, it was just you don't want to hear from the murderer at the funeral type of situation. Billy Joe, or well, Green Day had a whole concert in San Francisco just across the bay and said something like, F whatever his name, Jeff something, F the A's owner, in Vegas is a SHIT hole. And now there's 2 radio stations in Vegas that won't play Green Day music. And I'm like, all right, first off, stop being a baby to the Vegas stations. Like, it's like imagine someone from Cleveland, imagine a band from Cleveland was like in Cleveland and then went, you know, like I hate Baltimore, and then Baltimore's like, well, we're not playing any of your music. Well, okay, we hate Baltimore because you stole our football team. And now you are utterly successful with that football team. You've won like 2 Super Bowls. So I'm kind of pissed at your ownership that's based out of that city. So of course, I said, you know, F Baltimore. Of course he said F Vegas. You stole his football team and his baseball team from his childhood. And then they're all surprised. It's not us, it's you. Like, one of the most prosperous cities in America, and you're saying we're an SHIT hole? Like, dude, get over yourself. There's an app. It's like, why was this a surprise? It's obvious why. I don't think anyone in California likes you. Yeah, I don't like Vegas either. I don't. That's one of those I want to go to Vegas and cover their sports teams eventually, because that's my overall goal is to get to each and every one of stadiums that exist in America. But like, every ownership in that city is just an idiot. Like, the Las Vegas had a AAA. No, not triple. Yeah, no, it was AAA, right? Yeah, baseball team, minor league, and they were called the Las Vegas 51s. The whole area 51, they had this awesome theming, spaceship, aliens mascot that was an alien. Awesome logos. It was like a stereotypical alien head, but it was gray and had like baseball seams on its forehead. Yeah, they got rid of that and called themselves the Aviators, and now their logo is a dude in a helmet, like a pilot in a helmet. Like, I've never seen someone just ruin one of the best brands in the world so fast. But like I said, everything in Vegas is money, so everything in Vegas is for money. Because nothing in Vegas is actually substantial. No one just wants to go live in the desert. It's all because of money or something like that. So, yeah. I'd agree with Green Day on that, quite honestly. Watch this get banned in Vegas now. But anyway, yeah. And it just, like, that irks me. They're so shocked. It's not us, it's you. I can't believe you said that. You stole, too. Sorry, I just heard something outside in the hallway. It sounded like echoing, like some, like weird Five Nights at Freddy's type of thing. You know, like someone's about to break down the office door and eat my ass. Can I say that on here? That's for iHeart to figure out, not me. So also, speaking of Green Day, well, we were at that Detroit Green Day concert. I don't think we showed it in the video. I feel like it was kind of explained in our YouTube video we did. There, Green Day was just randomly taken off stage. So story is, I was actually in the pooper. Went in there, go to the bathroom. This was like my 4th Green Day show at that point, so I wasn't like, I need to see every dang second of this show. That was how I was the first one. Kind of was the second time, because the second show was Scott's first So I wanted to make sure he saw every dang second of the show, all the cool parts at least. I had him. We were going different places in the field, like, oh, you got to see this from here, type of situation. But when it came to the third or fourth one or whatever, I was like, I gotta take a poop. And I go in there, take my pants down, hanging brain, you know how it is, and boom, music stops, completely silent. I've never hoisted my pants up more, piss flying all over probably, and run out there, and they're gone in the middle of their Longview song. They're gone. No one on stage. Well, it turns out they were taken off stage because there was a drone, and it kind of explained that because I see people, commenting, use social media, all that evil social. Can't talk. Evil social media. It was just a drone, and you took them off for this. So do you understand that mid-size drones are literally what the military uses to launch missiles in some places? And there's also huge, gargantuan-sized, plane-sized drones, but it's part of their thing is so they don't have to send soldiers into the line of fire. They send drones. So yeah, we're gonna be a little cautious when there's a drone around. Social media never amazes me. What's the word? Never ceases to amaze me anymore with how stupid everyone on the internet is. It's just a drone. It's like someone walking into school with a gun. It's just an AK-47. It's just a Glock 9. What? Do you know what that's used for? What else we got? Okay, Siren's Curse at Cedar Point, 2025. All right. That's so random. Like a tilt coaster right next to a dive coaster, which arguably I think is significantly more intense, the dive coaster. Well, and then you can kind of look more into this. I thoroughly believe that it was originally going to Adventurelandia or something. It was from another country, parked in another country, and Six Flags bought it to put in Six Flags in Mexico. Didn't get the building permits. Classic Six Flags is in classic old Six Flags. Now that Cedar Point kind of bought them out, Cedar Point's running the place. Six Flags and Cedar Fair are one piece called Six Flags. I believe one of the Cedar Fair parks, being Cedar Point, took the ride over. They just took the ride because it was kind of sitting there. There's a big empty space technically at Cedar Point. It was just kind of sitting at Six Flags Mexico, and they were like, we got to do something with this. So I think that's the only reason it's at Cedar Point. Yeah, I guess it's good because you can get to the point where Cedar Point has one of each roller coaster, and being the roller coaster capital of the world, I think that's kind of important, but it's just so random. It's one of those, and now this is my opinion on why they haven't been in the US a lot. I think there's only one other maybe in the US. I think it's one of those situations we have a large height clearance for the most part in this country, and we developed dive coasters where you can just take one continuous piece of track and push someone over the edge and then hold them there. We don't have to have this inner city height restriction thing like other countries do, where you have to hold them on the track and then have the track flip because the coaster, the thing in stature, can't be more than 100-something feet. So I think it's random. I understand it was just sitting there and we had a big open space, and maybe you want to have every kind of coaster model in existence, but it's just why? And right next to a dive coaster twice its size or something. Why? I don't. It's a cheesy, corny kind of ride model. But it seems like they're doing something cool with it. I mean, alright. Just, why? Alright. I'm gonna take a little break here. I think this is a good point for a break. Almost half an hour in. So I'm gonna play you a quick song here by a local band out of Cleveland called Leia Mara and the River Boys. Specifically, Leia Mara. Sorry if I'm not saying that name right. Look them up on Spotify. They have a new album out this year called Ace of Cups, and the song I'm about to play you is off Ace of Cups, the second song, because as they say, the second song in the album is always everyone's favorite for just no reason. Anyway, this song's called Chocolate and Flowers by Leia Mara. more things to cover. Hockey season is coming back. Do you think the Columbus Blue Jackets will be good this year? Just a question. I have no idea. Next episode, I'll make my yearly prediction because I haven't had enough time to think about it yet right now. Just something to stew on. We're in Louisville, like I said today. I wonder if they're Blue Jackets guys. Maybe this is Predators country. I don't know. There's a lot of, Nashville is just down the highway there, kind of, but yeah, I don't know. It's a good question, isn't it? Sorry, flipping through my notes. What's our last thing here? All right. Last thing we got going on. College football playoff expanded to 12 teams, which is freaking awesome. Problem being, I have a bad feeling it's going to be like all SEC teams, even with 12 teams. Now, my beef with the SEC. It's a great brand of football. Great brand of football. First or second best in the country. And my beef with it, though, is like you have teams that are constantly playing FCS or just crappy out-of-conference schedules and then doing a subpar in SEC play. And then it's like, oh, they're in the SEC, though. That's college football playoff material. Like, no, it's not. There's 2 or 3 good SEC teams. I don't care what you say. Missouri is not number 5 in the country. Like, I'm sorry. But, like, it's just things like that. It's like one of those, and we need to focus on other teams because, first off, there's been 2 or 4 years where either the Big Ten or the ACC has slapped the SEC when it's come to these bowl games. And then there was the first team out of the SEC when Auburn and Alabama, like when they played for the SEC title game. Alabama went to the playoffs. Auburn was out, first team out in the bowl game, and lost to UCF, who was like in the American Athletic Conference at the time. Like, they are teams just like the rest of us. Now, there are Power 4 or 5 conferences where that's the pool of talent higher than the rest. But I don't think you can put one conference in those 4 or 5 above the other. Because as we see, when they go head-to-head, for example, Cal against Auburn, the ACC has a 60% loss rate, believe it or not. I know that's crazy because we all want to... I don't want to say that. I almost said something really raunchy. We all want to praise the SEC. But they're just as good as the Big Ten. FYI. So that's my only gripe, is like, we're going to have 12 teams now. Well, before it was 4, so it was like 3 SEC teams and an ACC team. And then the crazy thing is that ACC team won twice. Clemson won the national championship in a bracket like that twice. But we still just keep putting the SEC in, and only the SEC in. Anyway, so I just have this feeling that it's going to be like, well, now we're expanding it to 12 teams, and it's going to be like 8 SEC teams. And they're all going to lose. I don't know. That's just my little gripe. Alrighty then. I think that'll wrap us up for today. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very, very much for listening. Make sure you hit up rockcitychronicle.com. We have some awesome articles coming up. One from Louisville today. We got to watch a little bit of the Cardinals football team. Friday run through. We have a article and a video coming from both today and tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be in Akron for the University of Akron's Oktoberfest. If you want to come say hey, hang out. Thank you to Leah Mara for the amazing song, the amazing album. Go listen to that. Ace of Cups on Spotify. I think that's it, and we'll see you next Friday for another Friday Fever. I'm done.